A warm welcome to everyone here. This is our 45th class of Mundakopanishad with Swamiji. We are in chapter 3, section 1. In our last class, Swamiji started with shloka 1 and then took shloka 2 for us.
Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bhadram Karnebhi Srinuyama Devaha Bhadram Pasye Makshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtuvam Sastanobhir Vyasema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vṛkṣaṃ Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspati'r Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Somehow a long gap came in between our classes. That's why actually I thought to join today, because today we have a district level science fair here in the Vidyalaya. The time of inauguration is 10 o'clock. So instead of cancelling this, we can sit together for some 45 minutes or so. Then in our next class, we will continue. So when we sat together, we discussed the first mantra in the first khanda of third Mundaka. That is Dva suparṇā sayujā sakhāyā samānaṃ vṛkṣaṃ pariṣasvajāte tayoranyaḥ pippalaṃ svādvattyanaśnannanyo abhicākaśīti. Dvau suparṇau. Dvau, two. Suparṇau, birds. Birds with beautiful wings. Who are they? Sayujā. Always living together. Always together. Sakhāyā. Sakhāyā. Friends, or two are of similar living style. Sakhāyā. Samānaṃ vṛkṣaṃ pariṣasvajāte. They are living in the same vṛkṣaṃ, tree. So in one tree, there are two birds, both are friends and always united, closely united, living together. Tayoranyaḥ, of them, one svādvattyanaśnannanyo pippalaṃ is eating the fruits of that tree. There are different types of fruits. Some sour, some sweet. So of different taste, there are fruits, and one is eating, whereas the other is anyaḥ abhicākaśīti. Here we can take the meaning as is sitting as a witness. The verbal meaning of abhicākaśīti is shining. Abhicākaśīti is shining. So here we can take the meaning of shining as the other is simply sitting as a witness. So there are two birds in the same tree. One is eating the fruits of the tree, whereas the other is sitting as a witness without eating anything. And he is shining. Whereas the first bird is engrossed in activities. He is in the midst of activities. When he tastes sweet fruits, he is happy. When those fruits are not sweet, he is not happy. When they are sour, he is unhappy, feeling sadness. So he is having the or living in the dualities of the world. He is in the midst of dual experiences. So when we study this mantra, we will not get the real purport or the meaning of that. So we must go to the second mantra. And after studying that second mantra, we can have a detailed discussion. Not before that. So what is the second mantra? See, samāne vṛkṣe puruṣo nimagno'niśayā śocati muhyamānaḥ juṣṭaṃ yadā paśyatyanyamīśamasya mahimānamiti vītaśokaḥ. Samāne vṛkṣe puruṣo nimagno'niśayā śocati muhyamānaḥ juṣṭaṃ yadā paśyatyanyamīśamasya mahimānamiti vītaśokaḥ. Samāne vṛkṣe nimagnaḥ puruṣaḥ aniśayā śocati muhyamānaḥ. So in the first mantra, it was said there are two birds, suparṇā, dvau, dva suparṇā. Now here in this mantra it is said nimagnaḥ puruṣaḥ. Nimagnaḥ puruṣaḥ. Nimagnaḥ means immersed. Immersed in the dualities of the world, or immersed in the activities of the world. Immersed, nimagnaḥ. Nisheshena magnaḥ. Magnaḥ is immersed. So nimagnaḥ is well immersed. who puruṣaḥ, the Atman, the Jivatman, one with the feeling of I consciousness, and one who is having the body consciousness, I am the body, I am doing all these things, and I am getting the fruits of my own actions, and they are sweet and sour, of different taste, sometimes giving pleasure, sometimes pain. As he is identifying with the body-mind-intellect complex, he is immersed in the body, immersed in the world, immersed in the mind. In all the instruments, he is immersed because he is identifying with them all. I am this. He is not knowing his real nature. So without recognizing what my real nature is, he is identifying himself with the instruments. That is why it is said, nimagno'niśayā, puruṣaḥ. Anishyaya śocati. Anishyaya. Anishyaya means because of anisha. Because of anisha. What is anisha? Inability to control. Anisha is inability to control. That is helplessness. He is helpless. Helplessly bound to the world. Helplessly bound with the fruits of his own actions. So he is bound. Bound to the objects of the world. Aniśayā. Muhyati. Muhyati means he is deluded. He is deluded. Immersed in delusion. He does not know what to do. What his real nature is. Because of the false identification with the objects and instruments of the world. That means in the Veshti level, that is microcosmic, and the Samashti level, macrocosmic. So we are identifying ourselves with this all. And because of these identifications, we are not knowing our own real nature. And therefore we are immersed, nimagno'niśayā. Samāne vṛkṣe. Vṛkṣe means in the tree. Samāne means in the similar. Samānaṃ means similar. Samāne. It is the seventh case, Saptami. So, in the similar tree, here we can take the meaning as the same tree. Samānaṃ is not same, it is similar, but we have to take the meaning as same. So in the same tree, that is in the one tree, there is that bird who is immersed, who is engrossed in the activities, who is immersed in the dualities of the world. Considering these dualities as real. Because he is muhyati, he is deluded. He cannot distinguish between the real and the unreal. He cannot differentiate instruments from himself. He's considering the instruments as himself. I am this body. Or I am this mind-intellect complex. So I am a scholar. Or I am an ignorant man. I am a man or I am a woman. Like that. Because of identifications with this body, mind, intellect complex, he is śocati, grieving. Then a question may come. It is said, svādvattyanaśnannanyo, pippalaṃ svādvattyanaśnannanyo. He is eating the fruits of that tree. There are different types of fruits, and of course there are sweet fruits. And if he is eating sweet fruits, how he is śocati? Then because he will have happiness. So he is having dual experiences, that we can say. But why it is said śocati? Means even the happiness we are getting from the objects of the world, as they are temporary, those last for only a few seconds or few minutes. Even the happiness we are getting from the objects, that is not real happiness. To get them, we are working hard. When they are lost, again we are sad. And therefore, even if we are getting, or even when we are getting the objects of the world, it is nothing but śocam. And therefore it is said śocati, grieving. So as he is nimagno'niśayā, because of his helplessness and immersed in delusion, he is śocati. So this is the samsara. This is the state of jiva in the samsara. So real state of a jiva who is identifying himself with the unreal objects of the world, it is this. It is beautifully depicted here. Anisaya śocati, muhyamānaḥ. And therefore he is śocati. He is śocati. Our life in this world goes on and on in this way. Immersed in the samsara because of delusion and the inability to control ourselves. Nimagno'niśayā. Then is it the only fate or only way of a jiva? No. Then what is the next? It is said, juṣṭaṃ yadā paśyatyanyamīśamasya. Yadā, when paśyati is seeing, anyam, the other, Isham, the controller, juṣṭaṃ, who is staying or residing, because the meaning of juṣ dhatu is juṣ gatau. There is another meaning for juṣ. It is prīti sevanyoho, that is happiness, prīti. So we can take the meaning of juṣṭaṃ as one who is residing, one who is shining with all happiness. So here there are two birds, and one is eating all the fruits of the world, and the other is witnessing everything, and he is shining, abhicākaśīti. Now, this Jivatma, who is engrossed in the activities of the world and immersed in the plane of delusion, when he sees the real nature, what is the real nature of the self? It is not nimagno'niśayā. It is not muhyamānaḥ. It is not one who is experiencing the dualities of the world, but who is above all these dualities. Juṣṭaṃ is shining. Shining with all happiness. Inner joy. See, one is engaged in all the activities of the world, and he is having the experience of dualities. Whereas the other is simply witnessing everything without any engagement, and he is shining. When the jiva is seeing this, yadā paśyati, beholding this is my real nature. This is my real nature. I am the shining self. I am above all the dualities. All these dualities are coming when I am identifying myself with the subjects and instruments of the world. When that knowledge dawns, that is, yadā paśyati isham, who is the real controller. He is not nimagno'niśayā. He is not helpless. He is not helpless. He is isham, controller of everything. Esha sarvajñā, esha sarveshwaraha, sarvantaryami. That is the real nature. Then, as the effect of that vision, naturally or spontaneously, all our false identifications will be dropped off. They will be thrown away. Now there is no more identification with these instruments. Juṣṭaṃ yadā paśyatyanyamīśamasya mahimānam yadā paśyati. When he is recognizing the greatness of the self, who is witnessing everything, who is above all false identifications, who is above the dualities of the world. When the jiva recognizes that greatness, then what is the effect of that? Vītaśokaḥ. Vītaśokaḥ. Devoid of all miseries. So earlier, there were innumerable miseries, because each and every identification with the objects or instruments or experiences of the senses, we were having innumerable miseries. Because each and every identification brings in one misery. It may be pleasure, it may be pain, however dualities. These dualities invariably brings in miseries. So he was having that. Now recognizing this is my real nature, all the false identifications which were prevalent earlier, they withers away. And what is his nature now? His vītaśokaḥ. Vītaśokaḥ. Devoid of all miseries, all sorrows. Now no more sorrows are there, no more sadness. And he is established in himself. Till now he was identifying himself with many objects of the world and many instruments of this body. Now he is identifying himself with himself. Aham, aham. I am what I am. Then it is the state of vītaśokaḥ. This is the second mantra. Now, take these two mantras together. In the Upanishads, many places, to make the student understand the inner meaning of the teachings, many what we can call, not similes actually, many descriptions, which we may think are teaching dualities or dual nature of the self. No. For the purpose of teaching the student, the reality is non-dual. To teach the student, but the reality is non-dual. The guru, the teacher, takes some examples from the world. Of course, the examples from the world are dual, in the dual plane. And after analyzing, the student will himself reach to the undual experience, non-dual experience. So here, for the purpose of that teaching, at first, two birds are taken for granted. Actually, there are not two birds. if there are two birds, in reality, they will stay forever. They will stay forever. And if I am seeing, if there are two birds, just think, and one bird is eating all the fruits and having the miseries of the world, and the other bird is shining without eating anything, and the first one is seeing the second one, and the second one is happy, how the first one will become vītaśokaḥ? Never he will become vītaśokaḥ. Because he will take it as it like this. I am having all the illusions and pains, but there is a bird in the higher branch. He is shining, he is eating nothing, and he is established in happiness. That feeling of duality will remain. Never the first bird will become vītaśokaḥ. But here it is that the first bird is becoming vītaśokaḥ. So what is the meaning? There are no two birds. There is only one bird. And from an angle, when he is ignorant and expecting the fruits of the world, he is engrossed in activities, immersed in delusion, and eating the fruits of the tree. And he is considering himself as drowned in, immersed in the samsara. But when he recognizes how by seeing, yadā paśyati, by seeing the real nature of the self, he is above all the activities and all false identifications. He is always shining. And that is my real nature. I considered myself as somebody different because of the false identifications. Now there are no more false identifications. And he is recognizing his own nature as that of the first bird. I am that. Aham brahmasmi. Sohamasmi. I am that. Tattvamasi. You are that. Ayam atma brahma. This atma is none other than the Brahman. So when that recognition or realization of oneness, it dawns, then naturally, as the natural effect of that recognition, our false identification goes. They cannot last anymore. They goes. And when this identification goes, what's our real nature? It is vītaśokaḥ. Because I am not going to here and there. I am not identifying with many objects of the world. No. I am sitting in myself. I am juṣṭaṃ, established in the self. And therefore, vītaśokaḥ. vītaśokaḥ. So in the initial stage, for the purpose of teaching, two birds are taken for granted. And it is said, one is engrossed in activities, one is engaged in the worldly endeavors, and as a result of that, he is getting the fruits of the world. He is sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy, having the pleasure and pain of the world. And that is the nature of the samsara. But at the same time, the other bird, it is shining. Now, when I am speaking, I am seeing my own image in this computer screen. I am seeing my own image. Many a time I have seen my own image in the mirror. Whenever we look at a mirror, invariably we will see our own image. But once it happened, even now I am remembering when I went to a museum in Kurukshetra. We must once visit that museum in Kurukshetra, in the state of Haryana. There is a mirror kept there. From one angle you look, you will see your face in a particular shape. When you look from another angle, it is round. From another angle, it is square. From another angle, it is a long one, without an end. So we are seeing different images of ourselves. One is square, one is round, one is oval, like that. Even when we are seeing and we are experiencing these different mirror images, we know for certain that I am one. I am not that square, I am not that oval. I am what I am. But when we see that it is there, we cannot say it is not there. It is there. And if we take a photograph of that, what will happen? Really, it will be taken. We can keep it on our wall. See? So can we say it is real? No. It is only an image. But it is real. Really, it is not real. But it is real. We cannot say that it is unreal because we are experiencing that. Then how we can negate that? As we are experiencing, it is there. But still we know it is not real. That is the nature of the world. So when we see our real nature, it is shining without eating the fruits of the world. Abhicākaśīti, this is my real nature. All our false identifications will vanish. How? Quite naturally. It is not that today I am recognizing myself and tomorrow false identifications will go. No. At the very moment, that will go. Then we will live in this world with all, in whatever way we can, or we want to transact, we can live here. As a scholar, or as a madman, or as a boy, or as an old man. It is real personality development. Persona is mask, so the ability to wear as many masks as possible, that is the personality development. He alone can do that, one who knows his own nature. Because there is no identification, there is no more identification. He is free everywhere. And that freedom It is the moksha. That is at vītaśokaḥ. So recognize our own self, and as a natural effect of that, all false identification goes. Then there are no two birds, only one bird. It was a mirror image. Now I understand there is only one self, and it is vītaśokaḥ. So this is the meaning of these two mantras put together. Now we can go to the third mantra in our next sitting, because as I said earlier, some may have joined later, so I am repeating. In the Vidyalaya, Sri Shankara Vidyalaya, we are having a district level science fair. And in the inaugural session, I had to go and attend. So no question answers today. We will have them in our next sitting. Namaste. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatra Sthirairangai Stushtuvam Sastanobhir Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vṛkṣaṃ Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starkshyo Arishtanemi Swastino Brihaspati Dhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Thank you, Swamiji. At least we had this session today. We are very happy.